traffic jam is a good indicator of where we have left to do work. It is a good indicator of where we are with getting our emotions under control. Do we get upset when we are in a traffic jam? Do we get upset when someone cuts us off? Do we get upset when someone is rude to us? That's the hardest one. What we have to look at why we're getting upset, because if we have a problem with something, it's not, if someone makes us upset, it's not their problem, it's our problem. We have to look at what inside of us is getting triggered. We have to take an introspective look. Why am I getting upset at this? Why am I getting angry that there's a traffic jam, that I took a wrong turn that's going to add time to my route? Why am I living in time? Why am I concerned with time? That is the cause for impatience. We are impatient when we are concerned about dealing with time, right? Or when we think something should go faster. Again, it all comes back to time. It makes us impatient. So it still happens to me all the time. I catch myself. I always catch myself. I say, why am I being impatient? There's nothing to do. There's nowhere to go. It's all right here, right now. You don't need to be in a hurry to do anything. You take your time. Everything's going to happen in divine timing anyway. No matter what we do, it's exactly what was always going to happen. So you can't do the wrong thing. If you're going to go sit in a cave for 10 years and meditate, that's exactly what was always going to happen. It can't be the wrong thing. And remember, everything's perfectly sequentially balanced in our life, in the way it's set up and in the way it's given to us, to reflect the laws of karma and to reflect everything that's been written already, right? Everything's perfectly balanced. Every experience in our life is an opportunity for us to grow, for us to be present, right? Because if we get upset, we can say, oh, something triggered me. What was it? Am I not staying present enough? Am I letting my thoughts wander? Those are two of the big things. Letting your thoughts go crazy. They're going to get you worked up over everything. Got to calm the mind and be the observer in every situation as possible. Be present in every situation as possible, because that is what keeps us balanced. If we're getting upset at a traffic jam, why are we getting upset? You got to take a look inside. What about this is triggering me? Why do I see some people just chilling there? Why are they not upset? Because it's the situations out of your control. All situations are really out of our control. There is no control. Control is an illusion. I just made a video on that recently as well. We're just playing it out, man. We're all just actors playing out our roles. So the only thing to do is to relax and to observe any situation. You get injured. It's interesting. I've had a couple of opportunities recently where I always think to myself, why am I not angry at this? Why does this not really upset me? Why am I not pissed at this? It's because I've taken the time to get to the point where I can do the work. You know what I mean? I'm doing the work to reflect on why things happen, good, and there's no good or bad, right? I shoot myself I use this example often. I used to frame houses, build houses. And I shot myself in the hand by accident. It was an accident. It wasn't on purpose. With a nail gun. The nail went into my hand. Now that hurt. And I was like, ah. And I actually did the thing you're not supposed to do, which is just freaking pull a thing right out, right? But it was fine. It messed up my hand pretty bad. My whole hand was bruised and nasty, like black and like yellow. Like the whole part of my hand was done. I didn't go to the doctors. If I thought I needed some emergency attention, which is part of the medical system we still need, absolutely, emergency medicine, that is part of the medical system, that's actually part of life. We need it, right? Emergency surgeries, right? But for everything else, health related, we want to go get down to the nitty gritty, to the cause. Well, how did I end up on diet again? It always happens. We got to get there's always a cause and effect for everything. And remember, and another thing that can add to our aggravation at any situation is acids. See, and everything's connected, guys. I always come full circle in these videos, right? Acids aggravate. So if we're eating a highly acidic diet and drinking acidic drinks like alcohol and coffee and things like that, all those add up with all the acidic foods we're eating, all the foods that ferment and putrefy in our bodies, the animal products, the processed foods, the bad food combinations. These all add acids to your head. And guess what? When you have more acids, you're going to be more aggravated. You're going to be more likely to be violent and just not in balance. As acids aggravate and alkaline cools. So when you eat an alkaline-based, fruit-based diet, because we are fruit-based beings, we are in fact frugivores. If we take the time to objectively view the anatomy and physiology of a human being, and we compare it to the anatomy and physiology of other animals and species, we will see, along with the clinical and scientific evidence of everybody who eats fruit going from a standard American diet, detoxifying and healing themselves. This happens. This is not just like it only happens to some people. Now there's a lot of levels to this. So a lot of people, stuff will happen when they eat healthier that makes them think it's bad for them because they're actually detoxifying. Old injuries can come up. You're going to get cold and flu-like symptoms. You're going to feel like shit, right? But that's your body detoxifying. And you're going to go through it a lot. That's why it pays to take the time to educate ourselves about this whole process, because we're all going to need to do it. So let's come back to the traffic jam, because we always end up on the diet, because the diet is the staple, is the foundation of regulating the chemistry, i.e. and everything else connected with it, because everything's connected to anything. But we gotta get the temple online first. We gotta get the temple online first to heighten our connection with everything else, right? So back to the traffic jam again. Why do we get angry? Because we are having trouble accepting the current situation for just being, right? I didn't even finish the story with my hand, right? I wasn't angry at shooting myself. I'm all over the place. I wasn't angry about shooting myself in the hand with a nail gun. I wasn't angry, which is funny because my old self from a few years ago would have been pissed for whatever reason. I don't even know why I'd be pissed at this point. But I knew, I said, as soon as it happened, you know what I said to myself? Every time I get injured, as soon as I ask myself a couple things, right? You say, I don't blame it on anybody else. I say, that was meant to happen. That was always going to happen. I'm not mad. I'm just going to view it as objectively as an experience. Yes, it's causing pain in this physical body when you get injured or you have a health issue. But that's why we got to view it, objectively and be like, what? And I also ask, what's it trying to teach me? It's always going to happen. What's it trying to teach me? A lot of times I come back to the same answers when I get injured or in a situation or get worked up as I'm not staying present enough and I need to stop thinking and let my mind, when my mind goes crazy, you're just kind of, you're more all over the place. And I gotta get all the acids out of my head and out of my body through detoxification. So my balance and coordination and symbiotic relationship with all that is around me is more fine-tuned and works how it's supposed to work. We're not supposed to be fumbling over ourselves ever. We're supposed to have perfect balance, perfect sight, perfect everything. When we eat the right diets and we fully clean ourselves out and we give our bodies the chance to regenerate, which our bodies can regenerate by, the use of fasting or eating fruit, raw fruit and vegetables. Your body will regenerate. The degenerative conditions. Your body will regenerate your busted up genetics. Everybody's genetics are busted. Go watch the video, Pottinger's cat or something like that. Look it up. You'll find it if you look for it. It's this guy did the study. This needs to be a whole nother video. Pottinger's cat. I don't know how you say his last name. He did a study of cats over a few years where he gave one set of cats raw ingredients and one set of cat like cooked meat, basically, like processed stuff cooked. And the cats that ate the processed stuff over a few generations got destroyed. Their bone structure was destroyed. Their genetics were destroyed. They had malformations all over. They had terrible, physical. Their anatomy and physiology was destroyed. But the cats that they fed the raw foods were strong, were good, we never got sick, healthy. It's all about the raw foods no matter what species you are. So remember, traffic jam. Accept what is. All we have to do is accept, because there's no good or bad. It just is. Just ride the wave, baby. Ride the wave.